Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of SEO Unmasked. This week is episode number 45. We've been away for a couple weeks. The date is August 30th. Let me turn this off quick. Sorry about that. Kind of rusty here. Glad to have you with us as always. I'm Garrett Groff. And
I'm Vintoletto.
I'm John.
Yeah,
Hey, John.
John's here.
I know why Steve isn't here. Steve is doing his talk right now.
Nah, it's midnight over there.
Oh.
He did it about...
A couple hours ago.
No, he did it 6 noon, about 9 hours ago. Yeah.
Well, Steve isn't here, but he has a viable excuse. He gave a speech today. Hopefully, we'll be able to post it on the videos. Watch it next week.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah, see what kind of bullshit he's up to.
Yeah, heard it was good from one of our contractors that went with him, but I don't know. I guess he refrained from making fun of too many people. From the sound of it.
That's too bad.
That's too bad. Yeah, I don't know what's new with you guys.
I'm going to talk about it and don't tweet this, but had some good results with the site I'm working on now. Good content results. I'll talk about it later, though. How about you?
Our skincare site just stuck on page 2 for an 85,000 per month query keyword, so I'm excited about that. And
nice.
It just keeps ramping up, so it's...
Does it have to do with plucking nose hairs?
Yeah, not that one. Something else, but so I spent the day... I haven't really monetized the site much yet, so I spent today getting some affiliate shit on it. And it's getting about, I don't know, is it 5,000 hits a month right now, so I guess it's time to get some money coming out of it.
Yeah. You get 5,000 visits a month or page views?
Unique visits, yeah.
Nice, man. You should be making money.
Yeah. It's interesting. I was talking in Dan Ray's little group about it a couple of weeks ago. I put a heat map on a couple of the pages that, like, we have like 3 pages that are a majority of that traffic right now, and like 85% of the traffic to that website from search is all mobile. And I have a couple of I have some AdSense ads in the sidebar and like an affiliate offer in the sidebar. But after like looking through the heat map and stuff, on the phone, the ads are obviously shown at the very bottom because they're in the sidebar. It loads all the main content and puts a sidebar underneath on mobile. So, I've done some mobile stuff in the past, but I guess if traffic continues the way it is, I'll really have to look into mobile conversions and optimizing all the pages for that fun stuff.
Yeah. Jared can help you out with that.
Okay.
You just got to make an entirely different... Well, it's responsive, you said?
It is responsive, yeah. It's just
but the way it stacks.
It's just the way I have it laid out, so I got to move stuff around. And it makes sense on desktop, but not on a phone.
Right. Cool. How about you, John? You got anything new going on?
No, pretty much same as usual.
Same as usual?
Yeah.
Cool, dude. Well, unfortunately, we don't have Steve here to entertain us today and let us know what he's doing. But,
I guess
we got a small block of news.
Yeah, not much. We'll just run through it. I was going to say quick, Steve and I will be in Dublin in September for the Learn Inbound conference, and then me, Steve, and Vin, and John will be in Vegas for PubCon in October.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, not too long now.
Coming up quick.
I think I might do SMX East also.
Yeah, when's that?
What does that sound?
The lawn mowing guy.
SMX East is, I think, a week or 2 after Vegas.
Is that New York?
Yeah, right in New York City.
Oh.
New York City. So, fun stuff coming up. coming up.
All right. Yeah, not much news. Might as well get started. I have a short little show for once. And yeah. Um, is this first article from Zippy?
Oh yeah, I threw this one in the ring. This is written by Cyrus Shepard on the Zippy blog, and it's titled 15 Site Architecture Tips for Performance SEO. This is pretty much as nerdy as it gets for SEO. It's very technical stuff. You guys hear me yap about topic clusters and silos and all that shit all the time. And this goes into that and even more so the technical aspects of site architecture. And he goes into things that you don't usually see when people talk about site architecture, like click depth, link bloat, pagination and navigational breadcrumbs. So it's kind of like a super guide for site architecture. So I'm having a little bit of a nerd boner here, and I'll probably be working through this for the rest of the year. Actually, did you get to read it or not? It's pretty long.
Yeah. Some of it's a little basic, but that's good for beginners. And some of it is stuff I would think most people don't think about anyways. And
The thing that jumped out at me is maybe not so good is the HTML sitemaps. I know that we've talked about that before. You're for them, right? As opposed to just doing XML.
yeah, I do use both. I mean, how many people actually use like how many viewers are going to take the time to find your sitemap? I don't know.
Right.
I don't have any hard evidence that it even helps indexation or anything like that.
Well, I kind of think that it might break your silos. If you have one page that links to all pages, you're kind of destroying all the work by creating tightly knit groups of pages and related in topic.
What do
So
you
I don't
think, Mr. John?
I've had decent success still using HTML sitemaps.
You use both there, John? XMLs and HTML?
Yeah, I think HTML still works fine.
Maybe I'll give it a shot. I'm very stubborn. When I think something is wrong, I'll just agree with myself until proven otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I get where you're coming from. I guess I don't know if Google's just smart enough. I don't know. I've never made. I don't know. I've never had any like bad experiences, but maybe because I've always done it this way, I could have a boost if I got rid of it.
Yeah, I liked how he also talks about link bloat, which is not a term I heard before, but it's essentially he's teaching you how to sculpt PageRank throughout your site, and he's doing it by removing links rather than adding more links. And I think that's a new perception or a new viewpoint, because these days everybody's just talking about interlink as much as possible. But you also have to keep in mind that you're diluting the power every time you add another link. So
yeah,
just another variable to throw into the mix.
Yepers.
Cool.
What was next here today? Barry over at the round table was covering. Google says they can now process canonical tags in JavaScript. I just kind of threw this in here because I know a lot of people just struggle with using canonical and relative and stuff like that properly in general. And now that Google seems to be getting a lot better in crawling stuff in JavaScript and all that, and they've added canonical crawling or within the JavaScript, maybe it might be something people should pay more attention to now that it's definitely getting attention from Google.
That's something that's I've never really learned as much as well as I should, just because I've never had a problem with it.
We had to delve into it.
I kind of rely on plugins to do just that shit. Well,
Why would you put them in JavaScript to begin with? I don't understand that.
I didn't read this this news update, but so I can't tell you. Did you read the whole thing, or did you watch this video here?
I didn't watch the video.
Yeah,
They didn't really say why you'd want to have them in JavaScript or what.
I guess my question is implementing the href tag and modifying. It's for when you have this. In this specific case, it's for when you have the site in multiple languages and how to apply the canonical, I guess, using JavaScript for the, to change the language or something.
Okay.
And
I
how
guess
to,
that makes sense.
yeah, and then how to set the canonical for whatever page you want to be the main one.
Excuse me. Gotcha.
So
That's interesting.
in some more entertaining news, Donald Trump says Google's results are rigged against him and all Republicans, and he wants to look into regulating Google.
Just what we need.
I think that he's only talking about the Google News.
That's possible.
And even if he had a point here, how do you regulate a search engine? You can't, man. You saw that with the Zuckerberg trials. The government has no idea how the internet works and can't even scratch the surface of how technology works. There's no way you're regulating any search engine, let alone Google.
Right.
But still funny to see him put his foot in his mouth.
Yeah. I don't know.
Google launches Google My Business API version 4.2.
Yeah, it looks like they made some updates. I've never actually fucked around with their API, to be honest with you. I guess maybe it'd be helpful if you had a ton of local clients and you were constantly making updates for some reason that way. But
maybe you guys can suggest. I need to brush up on my local SEO. Where is the best resource for learning like Google My Business and citations and all that shit? Or I don't even need to worry about it.
Probably the one I wrote like 5 years ago. Like I'll put
for like ranking and like MapPack and all that shit.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking local's pretty straightforward. Do the Google My Business.
Yeah.
I've been told that citations don't really matter so much anymore, but obviously still do them. Beyond what I call like the local social sites, like Yelp and all that bullshit, and build some links. And
I think my dental client may have been slightly hit by the August update. I know I have to do a disavow, which I'm dreading, but I also want to go through some standard practice for local SEO to make sure I'm not missing anything from.
I put my guide in the Skype and in the YouTube thing.
Cool.
I mean, I haven't updated it since I wrote it, but it's, from what I understand, I don't think shit's changed. And the couple local clients we have, this is all I do.
Look how pretty this site. Did you guys just redesign this or something?
No, we haven't touched this site in like at least a year. August 11, 2017 is the last time we put an article on it. And then before that, it was September 16 of 2016.
Grab your free copy of .com Secrets by Russell Brunson.
Yeah, Steve.
he loves that guy, doesn't he?
Oh God, he's so pissed at Gary and Russell right now. He was always a Gary fanboy, and I always gave him mad shit about it. Gary V has gone total, just like blatant. Now, like I always knew Gary V was a scam artist, and Steve didn't agree with me. And I'm like, Steve, man, Gary V is just like another one of those donks that had that one lucky thing and he got rich.
Yeah.
And now he's gone full Russell Brunson, just starting up all this bullshit of ripping people off. And I can train you to take other people's money. And like, it sounds like maybe his advertising business isn't going as well as it was. I don't know, but Steve was on a rant about it too. So
I've heard from several people that all you got to do is buy 700 copies of his book, and then you get an hour-long meeting with him at his office.
Yeah, so he can cheat the fucking bestsellers list.
Yeah.
Just another example of him fucking being a cunt.
Who is this?
Gary
V.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Big marketing guru guy that Steve talks about a lot.
Yeah.
It's like one of those like hype stuff. If you work hard enough for it, you'll get it. Just keep working no matter what. No matter if you're like without a house, without a car, without food, just keep working and it'll happen for you. So he's good at the hype, but there's very little. I've never found any substance or any actionable data from anything that he's ever put out.
No.
But I haven't read his books. Maybe it's all right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Tech function, I don't know. I think like last month I put a post on Facebook. We would like to... You know, we used to have a lot of good stuff on here, and it's gone kind of dormant, obviously. It still ranks for some good stuff. And I don't know if we really want to monetize it, but I'd just like put some feelers out if anybody is interested in contributing to it. You know,
yeah.
like, I'd be open for that as long as it's reasonable. And I don't know.
You could always just roll it over to SEO UnMasked.com.
Yeah, we gotta work on
start
that.
Branding this shit.
Yeah, I suppose we could.
Just enough. We have so many projects.
I know.
We're like, let's do this, that, and the other thing, and it ends up on the back burner. But
yeah,
it ain't no Jungle Book.
Yeah, fuck, we gotta change that word next time. Anyways, we haven't had a chance to really talk about this. Or maybe we talked about this most recent core update, Google update a couple weeks ago, I think, maybe. But Morty Oberstein from Rank Ranger put out an article. He kind of went through and gave some specific examples of some pretty big sites that got hit in this latest update. And, you know, there's a lot of people talking about it's my money, my life, or whatever that stands for, or EAT, eat, I forget what that means to. Shit like that. And there's kind of like, I have a hard time putting it into words, but like, there's kind of like a general theme where it's like these big sites that are sort of claiming to be like we're the ultimate authority in this specific area, like bodybuilding.com. But like the subliminal point is, no, we're here to like dump our products down your throat or whatever. And that kind of seems to be like a central theme. And then also, I can't remember if you covered it in this article, but I saw a few websites where, you know, like, I gotta be careful. They're selling a certain health-related product, and it kind of funnels you from like information, and without you know it, you're funneled to a different page to buy these really cool $99 supplements that are actually just like a laxative or something, and they help you lose weight because you're shitting your guts out. Like a lot of stuff like that I saw got penalized, and I guess I was contemplating is, do you think a lot of these sites there was some sort of a lot of manual review in these as like a quality filter in general?
Yes, yeah, clearly. Like these sites are all like similar to sort of similar to like the eHows or whatever they were back in the day that got hit by Panda. And I think this just proves that they, for the most part, like they really don't have an algorithm to kind of target these massive high authority sites with like a shitload of thin content on them.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they wouldn't all get wiped out at once like this.
Yeah.
So you think it's more of a content-based penalty rather than anything, a manual rated content-based penalty?
Looking at these, I'm pretty sure. Like these sites, even though they're about different stuff, like they all strike me as kind of pretty similar fundamentally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did agree with the article on Rank Ranger that at least the sites that he profiled, that they were using content to, they baited you in with informational content only to serve you advertisements.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
But for that to be uncovered algorithmically by a computer, I don't think that's.
So Steve and I were talking about this. So these sites that got hit, you know, like bodybuilding.com, I think I looked on Ahrefs, went from like 20 million hits a month to 10 or something. So they lost half their traffic. but they're not totally wiped out. I was going to make a bet with Steve. I'm like, what do you think if they just built 1,000 links over this year, really good links? Do you think they'll just push back through this penalty or this devaluation of their site? And once again, they're going to be sitting on top.
No, I think that it's less work than that. I think they just have to rebuild their content funnels. Like even let's look at the what is it? The credit one, a simple dollar. How basically their credit card information page ended up just being a landing page and a pre-sale page for a credit card aggregator. That page is already ranking. What they have to do is put real information, helpful content on it by somebody, and then filter them down from the top of the funnel through your awareness, transactional, and commercial content. Especially in this example, it's a pre-sale page, and all the links just lead to a landing page for an offer. So when people are jumping on that page expecting their answers, they're just being sold something.
Right.
Getting back to my point, all they have to do is just, they can keep the page up, but just add the answers that people are looking for, and I think they'll pop back pretty quick. I don't know.
There are a lot of sites that are built on this model. Like this comparison thing's been pretty big for a while now, and I don't know. I don't see a lot of these sites coming back. They all strike me as being pretty much exactly the same.
Comparison how? Like there's aggregator sites like enter your zip code and some basic information and will serve you the best option for you. But then there's also the best roundup ones, like best car insurance companies of 2018.
Yeah, I could name you like a dozen sites that all are the best whatever of whatever, and they all cover the exact same verticals, which all happen to have like the highest lead values or whatever. I recognize Simple Dollar. Consumers Advocate is another one. One that's like really similar name to Consumer Reports. Another one that's like top 10 reviews. Yeah, there's a bunch of these, and they all have been using this strategy for a while.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's an opportunity to push into the health space, because I think like the day that everyone got hit, we picked up 200 keywords, which isn't a lot, but it was a pretty big boost on our small site. And
that site's probably pretty specific too, right?
Yeah, very.
Yeah, so that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I guess we lost Vincent here. Where'd you go, homeboy?
Yeah, there are so many of these. There are so many of like these review sites or the 10 best whatevers, and they're in like a bunch of financial services niches, right, mostly. But it's annoying because they all do have like tremendously thin content.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it really just goes to show too that things aren't the way they used to be, and it's getting increasingly harder to be the best and to rank there and stay there for a while. It's I just lost my train of thought, but like some of these sites that he's mentioning is just so dog shit. Like this venture capital one review, it has no valuable information. It's just like the exact word for word offer probably from Capital One, and then some really basic considerations like that. Pretty thin, useless. Doesn't really apply to anybody. Help,
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it also just goes to show that like the algorithms are still quite a bit overrated, because these sites are all using the exact same model that Panda was supposed to
Right.
wipe out, you know?
So that's why I was curious about, from an algorithmic standpoint. Let's say they just leave the sites exactly as they are. They've taken their penalty, and they just build a fuck ton more links to it. Good, supposedly good links. Do you think now that the manual reviews are over with for a while, the links will just push them back up?
If Panda is any indication, then no, that's not going to work.
Okay.
That this is kind of permanent. And I would guess that once you get hit with a filter like this, it's pretty difficult to break back out of it.
Gotcha.
Because so just to use bodybuilding.com as an example, over the past like 6 or 7 months, you know, I've been pretty into like health and fitness, and bodybuilding.com has come up for a lot of the searches that I've done. And all of the content has been like pretty thin and crappy, to the point where I just won't click on anything from bodybuilding.com. So I don't think it was hard to spot, and I don't think they'll let them out of purgatory or whatever very easily.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember even a decade ago, when I actually was in shape and working out a long time ago, I had found bodybuilding.com somehow, and I would read some of the articles, but thinking back, they were never really that good. It was They just found some like personal trainer and probably said, "Here's $50 and you get some exposure and do like 20 jumping or like whatever the workout is," and nothing really like cool and detailed. I don't know.
Well, and I think it's hard to even if you're just in fitness or whatever, I think it's hard to cover that much, that many topics at any kind of reasonable quality. At some point, and that point's really not that far, you're just going to be paying some rando $50 to write something.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I think Vin's back. He just came back online. Ba-ba-ba. Always something here.
I'd be pretty pumped if all of these review sites just died, though. Like, that'd be pretty wonderful.
I hate all of them.
I do too. They're really the worst.
Sorry, yes.
Like, yeah, it's like, it doesn't matter. What was I trying to find? So this house I bought doesn't have a water softener in it, and we have really hard water. And I was just like Googling. It was like late at night one night, and I wasn't going to call my plumber buddy to see what he recommended. Well, I'm just like Googling like water softener reviews or some shit. And like the first 2 pages, just nothing but affiliate sites for water softeners. And it's just like listing the factory specs. I've never tried it. Like, no, like really, you know, yeah, it saves water, you know, it's quiet, anything like valuable. You know, I've had it for 3 years and it hasn't leaked or, you know, blown up on me, whatever. Just fucking, I hate it. I get so pissed. Just garbage.
What are we shooting on right now?
Review sites that are shit.
Yeah, I mean, if these people want to use AdWords or whatever to drive traffic to the site, you know, good for them. But the less access that they have to like the organic search, the better.
Yeah.
Because it's just trash. And I'm sorry, but like, there's not a ton in common between identity theft protection, RV insurance, and dental insurance. So the fact that you cover all 3 plus another like 50 things on your website, what's going on?
Well, how do you feel about like vertical specific review sites?
How vertical specific?
Well, I mean, like, do you think a simple dollar is too broad, that it covers all personal finance rather than just credit or credit cards?
Yeah, I think it's too broad.
It's too broad.
I think it's broader than Bankrate, and Bankrate has what, like a an order of magnitude or two more links than they do.
Yeah. So you're saying it would be okay if you niche down into just one category that might be on a simple dollar, and a review site that focused solely on just like the best credit cards for college students.
Yeah, like there's this website, I think it's called like the Points Guy or something.
It's
yeah.
really good.
I would say that's an example of something that I would consider like a reasonable amount of topics to be covering.
Because pretty much that one guy, well, that is just one guy that does that, right? The Points Guy.
I think it's like a proper company at this point, but it's small.
Right.
They don't cover that much. They cover an amount that allows them to actually cover it in a reasonable amount of depth and to provide kind of useful information to people.
Interesting. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah,
I agree with you. Back in 2013, 2014, word agents, we got orders from a lot of those broad review sites, and they all banked like real quick right before it was like Penguin 2.0 or 3.0. Then they all got wiped out, and since then it's really been like these heavy hitters, like a Simple Dollar or a Nerd Wallet even, and now they seem to be getting a bit of their own medicine too.
What happened to Nerd Wallet? I'm kind of curious about them. Did they get hit?
I'm not seeing them pop up in anybody's reports, which is surprising.
Yeah, I remember them. They were ranking for some pretty competitive keywords. So I'm guessing that they're a lot less spammy than sites like the Simple Dollar, and like probably have way more authority too.
They did take a hit. This is Ahrefs traffic data, which we know isn't super accurate, but they were doing about 12.2 million hits a month.
Yeah, I want to show you.
And now they're down to about 11. So.
What's that, Nerd Wallet?
Yeah. They weren't decimated, but they took a small hit.
Yeah, I mean, Ahrefs doesn't show that they took any hit at all. It looks like it doesn't really look like it.
Well, I'm looking right at the end of the organic search graph in Ahrefs for nerdwallet.com. It's.
Oh, you're talking about that little baby.
Yeah, that's a 11% traffic drop in a week. It's not as big as the other sites, but
they bury this in. I'm sending this to you in Skype here. They bury this in the footer, but they actually have a shopping section on NerdWallet, which houses all of these review pages.
Oh. That sounds like a penalty waiting to happen.
Yeah. Look, best coffee makers, best vacuums, best strollers.
And actually,
category.
It's funny you bring this up. I was on Overstock.com today, looking around at shit, and they have a similar thing where it's financial services, so they're doing credit card reviews and auto loan reviews and all that shit, and then it's product reviews and also.
Yeah. So let's look at one of these pages. It's your standard review roundup. Now this is NerdWallet, a personal finance site, is advising you on the best strollers. So now let's look at how this individual page is doing. And that page has 6 referring domains and is indexed for 106 keywords. It's not ranking for much though. That's good. Best stroller.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised they're doing this.
Right? So, in their previous website design, they actually featured this shopping section more prominently, and I actually thought it disappeared until I looked down into the footer there.
See, this is such a good example of a shitty fucking review page. Like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Like, number one, they've just aggregated the Amazon reviews, and then buyers like the weight, like just bullshit useless information to me.
And if you look at the other categories in that footer, Check this out. Utilities. Best cell phone plans. Best unlimited data plans.
University, taxes.
Best Walmart cell phone plans. Like
Holy crap, man! This is a good find.
Yeah, it's loosely like relevant, but this is all the same shit that everybody's doing, man. And NerdWallet is arguably the biggest personal finance site out there, next to like Investopedia and giant sites like that. So
I didn't know that Verizon had an affiliate program. Or do
they probably don't. These NerdWallet is run by a group of venture capital guys, and they've got some big money and big weight behind them.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they probably have like custom offers and custom deals with big brands like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I think when you're this big, like there's not really like a ton of risk. I mean, they do this stuff now, but if they get hit, like, yeah, they'll lose the traffic from these pages and the revenue that they were generating, but it won't affect like their rankings for kind of their core business. So to me, like if you're as big as NerdWallet, or like my friend, he's on the SEO team at Pinterest, and I guess back in March they lost their rankings for a bunch of like kind of really thin, low quality search pages. So they lost all that traffic, and it was like a big percentage, but it didn't bleed over into anything else really. Like they just lost those specific things. They didn't take like a site-wide penalty or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
have you actually seen a site-wide penalty at all recently? And by recently I mean like the past like 3 years. I haven't seen a true site-wide penalty or de-indexing in a really long time. It's pretty much just either category specific or page specific.
Yeah, it's been a while, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean it's better for us, and when it's page specific, you can usually recover too if you take the proper steps.
Yeah,
I guess we got off on a little tangent there, but
yeah, that's all right.
Even the biggest sites are using this this roundup review format. So I guess that means it's working, but for how long is to be seen.
Yeah. I'll just see if there's anything else in here quick. But,
You still going through NerdWallet?
no, I was just going towards the end of this Rank Ranger article quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess summing it up is just he thinks it's we talked about it being deceptive with the actual intent of the site and funneling people to advertisements.
Like we said before, when it comes to the August update, I agree with John that it's not an algorithmic penalty.
Yeah.
Where they're not profiling types of sites. I don't think computing power has come that far yet, and I think it would be a bigger deal if it was actually working like that. But these were probably manually penalized, I would say.
I would think so.
Well, look at that. We're through all of our news early.
Yeah, I didn't have much.
I guess we both kind of slacked on adding shit to the...
Yeah, I don't know why. For some reason, I thought we still had a bunch of carryover news, which you saw right away, but wasn't really much going on. From what I wasn't around last week, but I didn't see much going on this week. So
yeah, nothing. John, do you have anything that you want to cover or go over, buddy?
No.
All right. I mean, I had a Doge tweet this week, and pretty much just talking about what I've been doing with my one of my sites. And obviously, like I try to build supporting content to boost the relevance of my categories on my site. But I realized that I was spending like a lot of money and a lot of time building it. Just content that really wasn't making me any money. It was just awareness content to kind of just simply boost the relevance of my site as a whole. So I went about trying to figure out how to get the most out of that supporting content. And what I did is I went and I took, you guys know the keyword golden ratio. You've heard that before, right? It's just some term floating around by going after keywords that are so easy that you pretty much are guaranteed to rank on the first page. So what I did is I just found search terms on my competitor sites, on the advertisers that I was promoting on their sites, reverse engineer their sites for keywords that were had 200 searches or less, and I used the all in title operator to search for that keyword. And if there were 20 or less results in all in title, I would create a post around that keyword. And what it did, it's helping my site stay fresh because I schedule them out, once every week or whatever. It's helping me bring in a traffic, albeit very small amounts per post. And it's also helping me reach my original goal of relevance for the site. And I tried it out for one category, and within 3 days, all 12 posts that I posted of supporting content were ranking on the first page for their target keyword, and they're bringing in relevant traffic now. So I thought it was nice. It was a cool little. It's not going to make me big dollars, but I'm also not just wasting money on content just for internal links at this point. It's also bringing in some extra traffic for me. So I thought that was pretty. It's one of those when you've got nothing else better to do, you go and dick around with something like this.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool, man. Well, I guess that's it for us this week.
Yeah, I don't think
that was the fastest fucking show I think we've done.
We got someone in the chat, Mr.
Oh.
the Mr. Beanham 86 or whatever.
Bill?
No, I don't think it's Bill.
Oh.
He says, yep, KGR, keyword golden ratio. I assume it works, but I can take new websites, overtake top position, even if you don't use keyword golden rule. I use a software to analyze on-page stuff.
Yeah, there's as long as Google is is searching for a good result for a particular keyword, you can pretty much rank right away. And there's definitely some good software to help you out to find those type of keywords. Anyway, I guess we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, so don't forget to smash that like button and share and subscribe. Well, whatever Sassy Steve is normally demanding of you. We'll be back next week with another show, and then I'm going to bring all my shit to Ireland so that on the 13th.
Are you in Ireland next week, or is that 2 weeks from now?
I leave on the 11th.
Okay.
I believe.
Interesting. Alrighty. Well, we'll have Steve back, and maybe we can watch his presentation next week.
Yeah.
Make fun of him.
All right, cool. I'll catch you guys all later.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Yep. See you. Bye.
Yeah.